It is so interesting when you see things being revealed that you just talked about in previous videos. I'll explain to you what I mean. About a week ago, I posted a video about a girl who was getting married to a guy, and she got hung up on the word poor and obedience when it came to saying her vows. Everybody in the audience at that wedding found it super funny that she got hung up on those words when in reality, it was definitely red flags. The guy should have ran away, and I don't think that he did. I think eventually he ended up getting married to her. Then I saw this video, and basically, in a nutshell, this is exactly what will happen to this guy because you best believe things happen when you don't check the red flags when you first see them. Roll it.
So he came home and he was like, babe, I lost my job. I'm like, all right, cool. So a month later, like the bills, it was time for the bills or whatever, and I'm like, the bills due, babe, or whatever. And he was like, okay, I'm not working. And I'm just, in a month, like, it's all kind of hustles. You could have been doing something or whatever. So I told him, I said, look, if I pay these bills, are you going to pay me the money back? This man had the nerve to tell me, why should I pay my wife back for paying our bills? I told this man from day one, my money is my money and his money is our money. Why should I spend my money paying the bills? Like, no, he should have paid me back. So that's when I decided, like, I can't be with this man no more. So I had text his homeboy. Like, we all cool. I text his homeboy or whatever. We went together. We left. I met up with him. And we was chilling, we was drinking or whatever. And I started venting. Like, I started getting emotional. One thing led to the next. I did not purposely mean to do what I did with his friend. But things happen. Like, y'all understand what I'm going through. So, his friend ended up giving me some money or whatever. And he was like, babe, look, don't worry about it. Handle whatever you got to handle. Like, his friend was every single thing I desire in a man. Like, everything I desire in a man. And, ain't nobody trying to hear my side.
So I wanted to play it in its entirety because I wanted you guys to understand when I start breaking it down what is actually happening in this video. So we're going to go back to that first video when I was talking about the woman and her vows.
For richer.
For richer.
For poor.
For poorer.
Bria made it very clear to Jonathan, you cannot be broke.
To love.
Cherish.
Cherish.
And to obey.
We didn't talk about that one in counseling.
We did talk about that in counseling.
And the thing about it is that, which is sad, is that people are under this impression that you have a job and you're always going to have that job. Like, things don't happen in the workforce. Like, people don't get laid off. It's not like the guy, and we don't know the backstory behind why the guy lost his job, but there are layoffs. There are things that just happen that are out of people's control, thus they lose their job. And in the first video, I discussed if she was to lose her job, would her man leave her? And so with that being said, I'm gonna break down this video from a very simple-minded individual who's just roaming this earth and just likes to call out bullshit. So let's go back again.
So he came home and he was like, babe, I lost my job. I'm like, all right, cool. So a month later, like, the bills, it was time for the bills or whatever, and I'm like, the bills due, babe, or whatever. And he was like, okay, I'm not working. And I'm just, in a month, like, it's all kind of hustles. You could have been doing something.
Okay, so they are husband and wife. They're living together. Bills are coming up. He lost his job. 30 days into it, he still can't find a job. I know that when I came to Florida in November, it took me until January to find a job. And throughout that time, I was doing Instacart. The job market was not easy. November of 2023 to January of 2024, it was rough. I really thought that I was just not make it and I would have to go back to Connecticut. But then things started to come together. So I totally understand. Jobs don't just come to you. Like, and don't think that for a second that just because you have a degree means you're going to get a job immediately. Job markets are not that good. We don't know the date of this happening. We don't know the specific time frame on when this happened, but the idea that she thinks that, oh, he's supposed to just immediately get a job. Also, she said side hustles. So we don't have to say what we think that she's thinking, but we all know what she meant when she was talking about side hustles.
So I told him, I said, look, if I pay these bills, are you going to pay me the money back? This man had the nerve to tell me, why should I pay my wife back for paying our bills? I told this man from day one, my money is my money and his money is our money. Why should I spend my money paying the bills?
The nerve of her. It's okay to talk to your husband about this is your money and his money is our money. But to put that on social media, I don't think that she understood that by putting that out on social media is going to make her look more like an asshole than she thinks. She thinks that she's actually saying something good to back herself up because she's a strong and independent woman. Her money is her money and his money is our money. And she wanted him to pay her back for bills that she's accumulating in the house that they live in. To be honest, if he agreed to that idea of just paying all the bills, okay, I get it. At the same time, though, not everything needs to be shared on social media. We don't need to know that you were that chick that decided to have money and not spend it towards the house, towards making your husband happy, and all of his money is going towards making you happy. It sounds bad. It sounds exactly what would happen to that guy that got married. That is the outcome that he's going to be experiencing. Let's go on.
So that's when I decided, like, I can't be with this man no more. I had sex with his homeboy. Like, we all cool. I texted his homeboy or whatever. You know, we went together. I met up with him. And we was chilling, we was drinking or whatever. And I started venting. Like I started getting emotional. One thing led to the next. I did not purposely mean to do what I did with his friend.
Now, here's the bullshit aspect of this. So this is when you start noticing how foolish people are. You listen to people talk, right? You listen to them talk because sometimes people reveal themselves to you without even having to ask them any questions, and they dig themselves into bigger holes. She was very calm, cool. Well, she was very confident in the words that she was saying up until the point where she was meeting up with her husband's friend. And then she started to stutter.
Homeboy or whatever. You know, we went together. We left. I met up with him.
Which proves she knew that she was doing something wrong, and now she's trying to justify it by making it seem like she didn't know what she was doing. You were very confident in talking about your husband losing his job and not being able to pay bills, but then you started stuttering when you were meeting up with your husband's friend, which you clearly knew. Like, we know that she was into this guy and she got married to her husband. She was just waiting for the right moment. Like, we're not idiots. You know, when you live on this earth for a long period of time, thank God for social media, I guess, when you're on social media as well, you start to see the real dark side of people. You know, before social media, which I did grow up around non-social media, like I was around when MySpace came about, and you never saw what was happening behind closed doors. And in a way, it was good. Sometimes you don't need to know what's going on in everybody's lives all the time. Nowadays, because phones are accessible, social media is free, people showcase too much of themselves and then get mad when people judge them. And it's like, what the hell did you expect? Also, stop trying to play victim right now. You wanted to fuck your husband's friend. Stop acting brand new. You were just waiting for the right moment. And you want to know why I believe you wanted to fuck your husband's friend? Because you could have met him at a coffee shop, you could have met him at a park, at a church. You decided to go to a bar, get sloppy drunk, and then claim,
I did not purposely mean to do what I did with this.
What the fuck you thought was going to happen? You were in a very vulnerable place. You were mad at your husband. You were clearly with a guy that you really wanted to be with. And at the end of the day, you end up doing the thing and trying to justify it because people don't understand your side of the story. It's not going to happen though, ma'am. No one's going to understand it because you're really putting yourself out here to look a villain.
Things happen. Like, y'all don't understand what I'm going through.
Yeah, like I said, no one gives a shit about your side. So here's the thing. We're hearing things from one side and not hearing it from his point of view, the husband. But at this point, do you really need to hear the husband's point of view? No matter what the husband says, she already put herself in the villain category. He doesn't really need to say much. Like I said, people reveal themselves to people without even having to ask. She definitely self-snitched on herself, for sure.
You know, his friend ended up giving me some money or whatever. And he was like, you know, babe, look, don't worry about it. Handle whatever you gotta handle.
Like, how dare you assume that people are going to be on your side after your husband loses his job? You have to pay the bills 1 month. And then because you're trying to get back at him because you were really upset, you slept with his friend and then try to make it seem like you didn't plan for that to happen. What dumb shit? Who are you listening to? I want to know who your friends are because someone is telling you stuff that you don't have any idea. Like, you are really living in clown world right now. The idea that someone could get drunk with someone that you clearly wanted to be with and then you fuck them and then you get shocked because you fucked them and said, I didn't plan for this to happen. That's dumb as hell.
His friend was every single thing I desire in a man. Like, everything I desire in a man. And, you know, ain't nobody trying to hear my side.
That's dumb as hell. And anybody that thinks that's okay to do is dumb as hell too. You want to know why? Because in reality, We all live by consequences, like actions and consequences. To be honest, you can literally take that video that I did before with the guy and that girl that got hung up on the poor and obedient thing and just place them in this story. Basically, the result of what's going to happen in that relationship. Because it's just, I didn't expect to see this video, and it's just so funny how it just coincides with that previous story. We're seeing it play out with a totally different couple, and that lady was probably going through the same issue as that lady during the wedding vows. She probably got hung up on the poor thing, the obedient thing. Let's pretend that they actually went through similar situations. I'm not faulting her, and I'm definitely faulting the guy, because you saw the red flags and yet you still proceeded on marrying her. And now ultimately you did the thing that she told you that she didn't want to deal with, which is lose your job and go broke, and now you acted shocked that she out here fucking your friend, which was ultimately going to happen anyway, because you definitely saw her get real cozy around him during friend gatherings and family gatherings. Come on, we're not dumb. We out here and we living in this world the same way as you. We saw it, and you saw it too. You saw it too, and you ignored it because it wasn't that big of a deal to you. But now she just self-snitched. It's on social media. Everybody's talking about it, and now you're looking like the chump. You're looking like the chump that should have said no and taken back your ring. I could be talking crazy, and I could just be upset because I just didn't realize how things were just going to play out between those two videos that I just did a week ago and today. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Do you ultimately think this is going to be the result for the guy that was the chump in the previous video? I mean, he has to be, right? There's no other way to go around it. He's definitely going to be looking like this guy with this girl on social media talking about how she's doing the thing that we all knew was going to happen because we all live in reality. Let me know in the comments below, because I'd be very intrigued to hear what you guys think. I am traveling the US, and I have a podcast where I share my experiences and life and all that, when it comes to just discovering different places that I want to be at. But definitely check out the podcast, because I definitely update that every week. And with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you're always notified about the new videos that I have coming out. Don't be on social media. Don't self-snitch on yourself, because you think you're doing stuff good and you're gonna end up looking like a villain at the end of the day. Keep things that go on in your relationship between you and your man or your woman, because not everybody wants to know. And if you don't want people's opinions, don't share it on social media. I love you all. I hope to see you all in the next video.